Welcome to Torah Truth for Us with Linda.
The steadfast love of Yehovah never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning, new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Yah. Great is thy faithfulness. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. They are new every morning, new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness, O Yah. Great is thy faithfulness. Yehovah is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I have hope in him. Yehovah is good to those who wait for him, to the person who seeks him. Great is thy faithfulness.
The Book of Numbers, in the Wilderness, Bamidbar, chapters 9, verse 1 through 22, verse 1, Chukat, and chapters 22, verse 2 through 25, verse 9, Balak. Chukat, ordinance. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe and Aaron, saying, This is the ordinance of the Torah that Yehovah has commanded, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and they will bring to you a red heifer, unblemished, in which there is no blemish, and which a yoke has not gone up upon it. And you shall give it to Eleazar the priest, and he shall bring it out toward outside the camp, and it shall be slaughtered for him. And Eleazar the priest shall take of its blood with his finger, and sprinkle directly toward the front of the tent of meeting, of its blood 7 times. And the heifer shall be burned before his eyes, and its hide, and its flesh, and its blood, and its dung shall be burned. And the priest shall take cedar wood, and hyssop, and scarlet, and cast them into the midst of the burning heifer. And the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe his flesh in the water, and afterward he shall come into the camp. And the priest shall be unclean until evening. And a clean man shall gather up the ashes of the heifer, and store them outside of the camp in a clean place. And they shall be for the congregation of the sons of Israel, kept for the water of purification. It is for purifying from sin. And the one who gathers the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the evening. And it shall be for the sons of Israel, and for the sojourner who is sojourning in their midst, the statute forever. He who touches against any dead body of a man shall be unclean 7 days. He shall cleanse himself from sin with the water on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he will be clean. But if he does not cleanse himself from the sin on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, he will not be clean. Anyone who touches the dead body of a man who has died, and does not cleanse himself from sin, he defiles the tabernacle of Yehovah. and that person shall be cut off from Israel because of the water of purification was not sprinkled on him. He shall be unclean, and his uncleanness is still on him. This is the Torah of the man when he dies in a tent. All in a tent who come into the tent, and all who are in the tent shall be unclean 7 days. And every open vessel that has no cover fastened on it is unclean. And whoever touches one who is slain by a sword, or who has died, or a bone of a man, or a grave in an open field, shall be unclean 7 days. And they shall take some of the ashes of the burning for sin for the unclean, and shall be put on them living water in a vessel. And a man who is clean shall take hyssop and dip it in the water, and sprinkle it on the tent, and on all the vessels, and on all the persons who were there, or on the one who touched against a bone, or against the slain, or against the dead, or against a grave. And the clean one shall sprinkle on the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall cleanse him from sin on the 7th day, and wash his clothes, and bathe in the water, and he shall be clean at the evening. And the man who is unclean, and does not cleanse himself from sin, and that person shall be cut off from the midst of the assembly, because he has defiled the sanctuary of YHWH. The water of purification has not been sprinkled on him. He is unclean. And it shall be for them an everlasting statute. And he who sprinkles the water of purification shall wash his clothes. And he who touches the water of purification shall be unclean until the evening. And whatever touches the unclean one in it shall be unclean. And the person who touches it shall be unclean until evening. And all the congregation of the sons of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin in the 1st month, and the people stayed in Kadesh. And Miriam died there, and was buried there. And there was not water there for the congregation, and they gathered together against Moses and Aaron. And the people contended with Moses, and spoke, saying, And if only we had perished, perishing with our brothers before the face of YHWH. And why have you brought up the assembly of YHWH into this wilderness to die here, we and our livestock? And why have you made us come up out of Egypt to bring us to this evil place? It is a place of no grain, nor figs, nor vines, nor pomegranates, and there is no water to drink. And Moses and Aaron went from the face of the assembly to the door of the tent of meeting, and they fell on their faces. And the glory of YHWH appeared to them, and YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Take the rod, gather together the congregation, and you and Aaron and your brother, speak to the rock before their eyes, and it shall yield its water. And you shall bring for them water from the rock, and give drink to the congregation and to their livestock. And Moses took the rod from before, as YHWH had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together at the face of the rock. And he said to them, Hear now, you rebels, from this rock water shall be brought forth for you. And Moses lifted up his hand and struck the rock with his rod twice. And water came out abundantly, and the congregation and their livestock drank. And YHWH said to Moshe and Aaron, Because you did not believe me to show my holiness in the eyes of the sons of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land that I have given them. Those were called the water of Meribah, because the sons of Israel argued with YHWH, and he proved himself holy among them. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh to the king of Edom. Thus says your brother Israel, You know all the hardship that has found us, and how our fathers went down to Egypt, and we dwelt in Egypt a long time, and Egypt afflicted us and our fathers. And we cried out to YHWH, and he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and brought us up out of Egypt. And here we are in Kadesh, a city on the edge of your border. Let us pass through your country. We will not pass through fields or vineyards, and we will not drink the water of a well. We will go along the highway of the king, and we will not turn aside to the right hand or to the left until we have passed through your territory. And Edom said to him, You shall not pass through my land, lest with the sword I come out against you. And the sons of Israel said to him, We will go on the highway, and if we drink any of your water, I or my livestock, I will give their price, only nothing more on foot. Let me pass through. And he said, You shall not pass through. And Edom came out against them, and many men, and with a mighty hand. And Edom refused to give Israel passage through his territory, and turned Israel away from him. And the sons of Israel journeyed from Kadesh, and all the congregation came to Mount Hor. And YHWH spoke to Moshe and Aaron in the Mount Hor, by the border of Edom, saying, Aaron shall be gathered to his people. He shall not enter into the land that I have given to the sons of Israel, upon that you rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son, and bring them up to the Mount Hor, and strip Aaron of his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son. And as for Aaron, he shall be gathered and die there. And Moshe did as YHWH had commanded, and they went up to Mount Hor before the eyes of all the congregation. And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments, and put them on Eleazar his son. And Aaron died there on the top of the mountain. And Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. And all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, and they, the whole house of Israel, mourned for Aaron for 30 days. And the Canaanite king of Arad, who dwelt in the Negev, heard that Israel was coming out on the road of Atharim, and he fought against Israel and took some of them captive. And Israel made a vow to YHWH and said, If you will delivering this people into my hand, then I will devote their cities to destruction. And YHWH listened to the voice of Israel and delivered up the Canaanite. And they devoted them and their cities to destruction. And the name of the place was Hormah. And they journeyed from the Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to go around the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was short on the way. And the people spoke against Elohim and against Moses. Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no food and no water, and our soul loathes this worthless bread. And YHWH sent among the people fiery serpents, and they bit the people, and many of the people of Israel died. And the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against YHWH and against you. Pray to YHWH that he take away from us the serpents. And Moses prayed for the people. And YHWH said to Moshe, Make for yourself a fiery serpent, and set it on a pole. And it shall come to pass that anyone who is bitten, and he looks at it, he shall live. And Moses made a bronze serpent and put it on a pole. And it came to pass, if a serpent had bitten anyone, and he looked upon the bronze serpent, he lived. And the sons of Israel set out and camped in Oboth. And they set out from Oboth and camped at Li Abarim, in the wilderness that is east of Moab toward the sunrise. And from there they set out and camped in the valley of Zered. From there they set out and camped on the other side of Anon, which is in the wilderness that extends from the border of the Amorite. Where the Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and between the Amorite. Upon thus it is said in the book of the wars of YHWH. Rahab in Suphah and the brooks of Arnon, and the slope of the brooks that reaches to the dwelling of Ar, and lies on the border of Moab. And from there they went to Berer. It is the well where Yehovah said to Moshe, "Gather together the people, and I will give them water." And Israel sang this song: "Spring up, O well, sing to it. The princes dug the well. The nobles of the nation hollowed it out by the lawgiver, by their staffs." And from the wilderness they went to Mattanah, and from Mattanah to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley, that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looks towards the face of Yeshimon. And Israel sent messengers to Sihon, king of the Amorites, saying, "Let me pass through your land. We will not turn aside into a field or into a vineyard, nor will we drink the water of a well. By the highway of the king we will go until we have passed through your territory." And Sihon would not allow Israel to pass through his territory. And Sihon gathered together all his people and went out against Israel in the wilderness. And he came to Yahaz and fought against Israel. And Israel defeated him by the mouth of the sword and took possession of his land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, as far as the sons of Ammon, for the border of the sons of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all the cities, and Israel dwelt in all the cities of the Amorite in Heshbon, and in all its villages. For Heshbon, the city of Sihon, king of the Amorite, who had fought against the former king of Moab, had taken all his land out of his hand as far as Arnon. For thus upon the speakers of the proverbs say, "Come to Heshbon, let it be built, and let the city of Zion be repaired. For fire went out from Heshbon, a flame from the town of Zion. It devoured Ar of Moab, the dominant heights of Arnon. Woe to you, Moab! You are destroyed, people of Chemosh. He has given his sons as fugitives, and his daughters into captivity to an Amorite king, Sihon. But we have shot them down. Heshbon is destroyed as far as Dibon, and we have laid waste as far as Nophah, which reaches to Medeba." And Israel dwelt in the land of the Amorite. And Moses sent men to spy out Iazer, and they took its villages and drove out the Amorite who was there. And they turned and went up by the way of Bashan, and Og went out. He was the king of Bashan. He went out against them, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And Jehovah said to Moshe, "Do not fear him, for I have delivered him into your hand, and all his people, and his land. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, king of the Amorite, who dwelt in Heshbon." And they defeated him, and his sons, and all his people, until there was not one survivor left to him. And they took possession of his land. And the sons of Israel set out and camped in the plains of Moab, across the Jordan from Jericho. Balak. And Balak, son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorite, and Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people, because they were numerous. And Moab was sick with dread because of the sons of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this congregation will lick up everything around us, as an ox licks up the green of the field." And Balak, son of Zippor, was king of the Moabites at that time. And he sent messengers to Balaam, son of Beor, at Pethor, which is near the river, in the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, "Behold, a people has come from Egypt. Behold, he has covered the eye of the land, and he is dwelling next to me. And now come, please, and curse for me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I will be able to strike them and drive them out of the land. For I know that whom you bless is blessed, and whom you curse is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed, and with the diviner's fee in their hands. And they came to Balaam and spoke to him the words of Balak. And he said to them, Lodge here for the night, and I will bring back to you the word as YHWH speaks to me. And the princes of Moab stayed with Balaam. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, Who are these men with you? And Balaam said to Elohim, Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent word to me. Behold, there is a people who came out of Egypt, and they cover the surface of the land. Now come, curse them for me. Perhaps I will be able to fight against them and drive them out. And Elohim said to Balaam, You shall not go with them. You shall not curse the people, for it is blessed. And Balaam rose in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, Go back to your land, for YHWH has refused to give me permission to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose and went back to Balak, and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. Then Balak sent messengers and representatives once again, more numerous and more distinguished than the previous. They came to Balaam and said to him, This is what Balak, the son of Zippor, says. I beg you, let nothing keep you from coming to me, for I will indeed honor you richly, and I will do whatever you tell me. Please, come then, curse this people for me. And Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, Though Balak were to give to me the fullness of his house in silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of YHWH my Eloheh, to do less or more. And now stay, please, in this place also tonight, that I may know what more YHWH will speak to me. And Elohim came to Balaam at night, and he said to him, If the men have come to call you, rise and go with them, but you shall do only the thing that I tell you. And Balaam arose in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. And the anger of Elohim was kindled because he went. And the angel of YHWH took his stand in the road as an adversary against him. And he was riding on his donkey, and two of his servants with him. And the donkey saw the angel of YHWH standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam struck the donkey to return her to the road. And the angel of YHWH stood in a narrow passage of the vineyards, with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. And the donkey saw the angel of YHWH, and she pushed herself against the wall and crushed the foot of Balaam against the wall. And again he struck her. And the angel of YHWH went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn aside to the right hand or to the left. And the donkey saw the angel of YHWH, and she lay down under Balaam. And the anger of Balaam was kindled, and he struck the donkey with his staff. And YHWH opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, What have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, Because you have acted mockingly with me. Oh, I wish that there was a sword in my hand, and I would kill you now. And the donkey said to Balaam, Am I not your donkey, which you have ridden on me always until this day? And is this the custom I am accustomed to do to you? And he said, No. And YHWH opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of YHWH standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of Yehovah said to him, On what account that you have struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to stand against you because your way is perverse before me. And the donkey saw me and turned aside before my face these 3 times. Had she not turned aside from me, surely by now you also I would have killed and let her live. And Balaam said to the angel of Jehovah, I have sinned, for I did not know that you stood against me in the road. And now, if it is evil in your eyes, I will turn back by myself. And the angel of Jehovah said to Balaam, Go with the men, and only speak the word that I shall speak to you. And Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And Balak heard that Balaam was coming, and he went out to meet him in the city of Moab, which is at the border of Ammon, which is in the boundary of the territory. And Balak said to Balaam, Was it not that I sent to you, sending to call for you? Why did you not come to me? Truly, I am not able to honor you. And Balaam said to Balak, Behold, I have come to you now. Am I really able to speak anything? The word that Elohim puts in my mouth, that only shall I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Huzot. And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and he sent some to Balaam and to the princes who were with him. And it was the next day that Balak went, and Balaam went up into Bamoth Baal, that he might observe from there the extremity of the people. And Balaam said to Balak, Build for me in this place 7 altars, and prepare for me in this place 7 bulls and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered the bull and a ram on each altar. And Balaam said to Balak, Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps Jehovah will come to meet me, and the word of what he shows me, I will tell it to you. And he went to a barren height, and Elohim met with Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I have offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And Jehovah put a word in the mouth of Balaam and said, Return to Balak, and thus you shall speak. And he returned to him, and behold, he was standing by the burnt offering, and all his princes of Moab. And he lifted up his oracle and said, From Aram, Balak the king of Moab has brought me from the mountains of the east, saying, Come, declare Yahweh cursed for me, and come, curse Israel. How am I supposed to put a curse on him, upon whom Elohim has not put a curse? And how am I to curse him, who Yehovah has not cursed? For I see him from the top of the rocks, and I look at him from the hill. Behold, a people that lives in isolation and does not consider itself to be among the nations. Who has counted the dust of Yahweh, or the number of the 4th part of Israel? May I die the death of the upright, and may my end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? To curse my enemies I took you, and behold, you have blessed them with blessing. And he answered and said, Is it not that what Yehovah has put in my mouth? I must guard myself to speak. And Balak said to him, Come, please with me to another place where you may see them from there, only the outer part of them, and you shall not see them all, and put a curse on them from me from there. And he took him to the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah. And he built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And he said to Balak, Stand here beside your burnt offering, which I myself will then meet Yehovah over there. And Yehovah met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, Return to Balak, and this is what you shall speak. And he came to him, and behold, he is standing by the burnt offering, and the princes of Moab were with him. And Balak said to him, What has Yehovah spoken? And he lifted up his oracle, and he said, Rise up, O Balak, give ear and hear to me, O son of Zippor. El is not a man that he would lie, nor a son of man that he would change his mind. Has he not said, and will he not do? Or has he spoken, and will he not make fulfill? Behold, I have received a word to bless, and he has blessed. I cannot reverse it. Has he not looked at iniquity in Jacob? And has he not seen wickedness in Israel? Yehovah, his Elohim, is with him, and the joyful shout of a king is among them. El brings them out of Egypt. He is for them, like the horns of the wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Jacob, nor is there any divination against Israel. And now it must be said of Jacob and of Israel, what El has done. Behold, a people like a lioness rises, and like a lion it raises itself. It shall not lie down until it devours the prey and drinks the blood of the slain. And Balak said to Balaam, Do not curse them at all, nor bless them at all. But Balaam replied to Balak, Did I not tell you, whatever Yehovah speaks, I must do? And Balak said to Balaam, Please come, and I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please the eye of the Elohim, that you may curse them for me from there. And Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor, that overlooks toward the face of Yeshimon. And Balaam said to Balak, Build for me in this place 7 altars, and prepare for me in this place 7 bulls and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And Balaam saw that it was good in the eyes of Jehovah to bless Israel, and he did not go as time by time before to seek to use sorcery, and he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, and the spirit of Elohim came upon him. And he lifted up his oracle and said, A declaration of Balaam, son of Beor, and a declaration of the man whose eyes are opened, a declaration of him who hears the words of El, who sees Shaddai in a vision, and who falls down with eyes wide open. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling, O Israel! Like valleys that stretch out like gardens by the river, like aloes planted by Yehovah, like cedars beside the waters. He shall pour water from his buckets, and his seed is in abundant waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. El brings him out of Egypt. He is for like the strength of the wild ox. He shall consume the nations, his enemies, and their bones he shall break, and with his arrows pierce. He crouches, he lies down like a lion, and as a lioness, who shall rouse him? He who blesses you is blessed. He who curses you is cursed. And the anger of Balak was kindled against Balaam, and he struck together his hands. And Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and look, you have blessed them these 3 times. Now flee for yourself to your place. I said I would richly reward you with rewarding, and in fact, Yehovah has kept you back from honor. And Balaam said to Balak, Was it not even to your messengers whom you sent to me that I spoke, saying that if Balak were to give me the fullness of his house in silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of YHWH to do good or bad of my own will? That which YHWH says, that I must speak. And indeed, I am going to my people. Come, and I will counsel you of what this people will do to your people in the latter days. And he lifted up his oracle and said, a declaration of Balaam, son of Beor, and a declaration of a man with opened eyes, a declaration of him who hears the words of El, and has the knowledge of the Most High, the vision of Shaddai. He sees falling down and eyes wide open. I see him, but now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Yaakov, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and batter the brow of Moab, and destroy all the sons of tumult. And Edom shall be a possession, and Seir, its enemies, will be a possession, while Israel performs valiantly. One from Yaakov shall rule, and will eliminate the survivors from the city. And he saw Amalek, and he lifted up his oracle and said, first among the nations was Amalek, and his end is utter destruction. And he looked on the Canaanite, and he lifted up his oracle and said, enduring is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. For nevertheless the Canaanite shall be for burning, until Ashur will take you captive. And he lifted up his oracle and said, alas, who shall live when El does this? And ships shall come from the hand of Kittim, and they shall afflict Ashur, and afflict Eber, and he is for utter destruction. And Balaam rose and departed, and returned to his place, and also Balak went his way. And Israel remained in Shittim, and the people began to prostitute themselves with the daughters of Moab. And they invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. And Israel joined to Baal of Peor, and the anger of YHWH angered against Israel. And YHWH said to Moshe, take all the heads of the people and hang the offenders before YHWH out in the sun before YHWH, so that the fierce anger of YHWH may turn away from Israel. And Moses said to the judges of Israel, each man must kill his men who were joined to Baal of Peor. And indeed, one of the sons of Israel came and brought near to his brothers a Midianitess before the eyes of Moses, and before the eyes of all the congregation of the sons of Israel, and they were weeping at the door of the tent of meeting. And Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, saw it. And he rose from the midst of the congregation, and he took a spear in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust through the two of them, the man of Israel and the woman, through her body. And the plague among the sons of Israel was stopped. And those who died in the plague were 24,000. May Jehovah bless you and keep you. May Jehovah cause his face to shine on you and be gracious to you. May Jehovah bless you and keep you. May Jehovah lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Yivrechecha Yehovah v'yishmerecha. Yair Yehovah panav elecha v'yonecha. Yisraelva panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom.